Closer, closer. Now it works, okay. For years, we've relied on Rick Steves to provide simple, common sense guidelines for navigating far-flung corners of the world. Travel, obviously, can enrich our lives. Done wrong, it can be really, really unpleasant. Rick has not only figured it out, but has been able to communicate it in simple ways that we've come to appreciate as public broadcasting aficionados. Our fellow Northwesterner has provided some solid guidance in a new journey from a decades-long failed experiment at marijuana prohibition. Our current policy is, make no mistake, an abject failure. It criminalizes behavior of otherwise law-abiding citizens. It regulates it to a vast black market that has its own terrible hazards, funds really bad guys, and completely fails to protect our children. Make no mistake, Oregon has become ground zero in the efforts to reform marijuana laws to stop wasting money and lives, and instead protect individual liberties and stop the hopelessly unfair disparities in racial treatment. Say that for Rick here. Measure 91's passage will change this failed policy that costs us billions in extra expenditures and lost revenues that go to drug dealers and cartels. Instead, Measure 91 will fund education, protect our kids, help people with addiction and mental health problems. Now, we wouldn't be more pleased to have Rick here as we go into the home stretch for campaign ballot Measure 91. That will either set the tone for national reform or it's going to set us back. Rick was an incredible voice of reason and sanity in the campaign in the state of Washington 2 years ago. And we welcome him to Oregon for his brand of common sense, clear expression, and frankly, the credibility that he has developed in giving us good advice for years. You know Rick Steves is America's most respected authority on European travel. What you may not know is that at age 18, Rick started traveling around Europe alone, teaching piano lessons and discovering the continent. Shortly after he started his business, Rick Steves Europe, which has grown from a one-person operation to a company with a staff of 90 full-time employees, well-traveled employees, headquartered in our neighbor to the north. He and his staff have produced more than 50 guidebooks on European travel, America's most popular travel series, a weekly, hour-long national public radio show, a weekly syndicated column, and free travel information available through his travel center and website. Rick traveled as a new genre of travel writing with his book, Travel as a Political Act, reflecting on how a life of travel has broadened his own perspective, and that travel can be a significant force for peace and understanding in the world. Among his observations, Rick has seen in his travels how different societies tackle the same problems. Nowhere is this more apparent to him than how countries handle marijuana policy. Steve co-sponsored Washington's successful ballot measure to regulate, legalize, and tax marijuana. And he supports Measure 91, Oregon's measure to regulate, legalize, and tax marijuana. Tonight, Rick will talk travel, Washington State's track record with marijuana, and other countries' experiences with marijuana legalization, and about Oregon's vote on marijuana this November for Measure 91. Mr. Steves, we're so excited to have you, ladies and gentlemen. Rick Steves.